Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel where we talk about stuff. So I'm sure at this point, hopefully, you know the theme of this channel. I try very much to make sure that everyone is kept up to date with all the current events within the cryptocurrency space. I know that there's always like 900 bajillion things happening within this market, but I try to think that I believe that I give you the most important of the informations that are actually out there. Recently, we have we have news that there are large corporations buying up tons of Bitcoin. We had information recently, I believe it's 80 plus percent of all the Bitcoin that is out there is now being held by long-term holders, whales, institutions, what have you, with the potential anticipation of at some point Bitcoin hitting $1 million per coin. That's another topic entirely. The news that we have now is something more of I want to make sure that you pay attention to the things that we are going to be hearing at very quick points in the future. Bitcoin has only been around for roughly around 14 years, give or take. Next year, everyone will be saying 15 years. Sure, why not? The point to be made is that Bitcoin is mined. What? I didn't know that. That's crazy, right? Bitcoin mining used to be a lot easier in the long ago, and therefore more coins were made in the past. It is now more difficult to mine Bitcoin, but people who mine Bitcoin, they basically have like tons of these computers and stuff like that now. For those of you who don't know, this is a really weird trivia question. The last Bitcoin is expected to be created, mined in the year 2140. I know I stutter. I tried not to stutter there because that is a long time in the future. As Bitcoin has a halving every 4 years, the supply that gets created gets cut in half. It has a halving and therefore it gets cut in half. That's kind of what the word means. Since Bitcoin has been around for 14 years, the amount of Bitcoin that was pushed out of the machine very early was actually a lot of Bitcoin. People were making some pretty good Bitcoin back in the day. A lot of people didn't think that the price would go anywhere, so a lot of people ended up, I was just talking about this before, a lot of people sold off their Bitcoin when it was like $7, $15, $200, because they were like, whoa, the price is too high. It's clearly never going to go any higher than that. Without having to, talk any further about all the other random things. It has now been announced. You can even find the information online. It's public knowledge for everyone. The last Bitcoin will be mined once again in the year 2140. In this year that I'm making this video, 2023, we have already created more than 92.8% of all the Bitcoin that there will ever be. One of the major ideas about timing within the Bitcoin space is that by the time we get to the year 2032, for some reason, every analyst believes this is going to be like the craziest year in the up until this far of the mining history of Bitcoin, because the amount of Bitcoin that will be created at that point, I think, will be mathematically less than every other asset in that other assets are created. And therefore the ratio of Bitcoin comparative to everything else will mean that Bitcoin would be de facto the most important thing to accumulate in 2032. That's why a lot of times we have conversations about if a lot of people out there should maybe look at their portfolios and try and decide if maybe now might be the correct time to start adding Bitcoin to it. Because I am constantly flabbergasted, no matter how many times that we get great, excellent, wonderful, amazing news for Bitcoin, a lot of people still have no Bitcoin in their portfolio. And I can't imagine a world where I would accumulate Tron or Dogecoin or Pepe over the coin that has been number one and is being accumulated and mined by countries. Yes. So the amount of Bitcoin, once again, that's already out there, is being massively bought up by whales. The metrics that we had before were just for people who had over 100 Bitcoin and more. They own more than 80% of the supply, and they are constantly holding on to it. However, we also have people who have less than 100 Bitcoin who are also buying tons of Bitcoin as well, and they plan on holding on to it for a very long time. There was another article, I'm not sure if I had it in the other couple of videos that I made for this channel, where it is now believed that in about 5, 6, 7 years, once companies really go, okay, now we have to start buying Bitcoin, they're all, that is to say, tens of thousands of companies around the world, and also subsequently hundreds of millions of billions of people, will be fighting over essentially only around 2 million Bitcoin, while the other institutions and the whales and the governments are also buying a lot as well. 21 million sounds like a lot, but it's really not. It's not a lot of product at all, especially when 6 million Bitcoin are lost and gone forever. Yeah, the news is 92.8% of all Bitcoin has already been mined. And over the next 120 years, we will basically see the creation of the last 7 or so percent. Kind of a weird conversation to have. I do sincerely hope that you're all paying attention. I do hope that you all are having a great day, morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope it's absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, liking, commenting, and or supporting. And I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.